Words have meaning, but names have power. There's a reason we don't name things funnel service and instead name them fierce funnel framework. In today's video, I'm going to share with you why that is and why it's critical you name everything you do with 8 naming methods that you can use today to get started. Hey, I'm Amanda, owner of Brushberry, and I help B2B consultants, small business owners, and nonprofits create scalable and sustainable growth by productizing your services to create financial stability, implement creative marketing strategies to make a bigger impact, and use automation to build efficient systems. If this sounds good to you, then you are in the right place. Hit that subscribe button and click that bell to be the first to know when I share a new video. That's just for you, baby. Today I'm going to share with you why we want to name everything. And I'm talking everything here, okay? This really especially matters when you are productizing your services. And if you don't know what that means, that basically means taking your services that you offer, all the service-based offers that you have, that tend to be a little bit more custom, maybe higher priced, maybe, time intense for you, and creating sort of like these smaller evergreen options that are more accessible for a wider audience, okay? Which then in turn actually brings you more higher priced one-to-one work because you're building trust in with those people that you're getting in quicker and easier. I call them easy yeses. Okay. So they've said it's an easy yes for them to say yes to these sort of smaller offers. And then they can even say yes easier to your bigger offers. Okay. So let's start talking about the 8 easy naming methods that can guide you to create names for your offers, services, and products. Now, why does naming things matter? This is really critical, and I think it's something that a lot of people don't really think about, but I'm going to give you the reasons why this is so important. Having a name makes it a thing, okay? So when you name something, it becomes a thing. It's not just consulting service. It gives it an air of value, okay? It can't be confused with other things out there. It's really easy for people to tell other people about it when it has a name instead of saying like, oh, this girl Amanda, she has this thing where she shares about how you do this thing. No, we don't have to do that. We actually have a name for it, right? So shareable is really important, okay? And it builds credibility. So those are all the reasons why we want to name things, all right? Good names follow some of the following. They're going to be easy to say, easy to spell. They're going to be memorable. They might be emotional, and they might show the benefits right in the name. You need to name everything. And those things can be your consulting gigs, your coaching programs, your packages, your memberships, your PDFs, your communities, your tools, your workbooks. Everything can have a name. Okay, so let's start looking at those 8 naming methods so that you can start naming all your stuff. Naming method number 1. Benefit driven. So basically this means that in the name, you can actually see the benefit. What are you going to actually accomplish by buying, getting, downloading this thing, watching, okay? So I'm going to give you 3 examples, and all of these naming methods, I'm going to give you 3 examples just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, okay? I don't want you to be like, well, what am I actually talking about? I want to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so these 3 are master your money conversations. Master your money conversation. So you're right away like, okay, yeah, I struggle with talking about finances with my clients. So I'm going to master this. I'm going to know how to do this, right? You can see what you're actually going to achieve right in the name. Crickets to conversations, right? We've all had those times when we post something and ain't nobody there. Nobody's there. I don't know what they're doing, but they ain't there. Okay. This is going to help us build in those conversations. We can see the benefit, right? Webinar in a weekend. Look, webinars are awesome, but girl, let me tell you something. Let me tell you, putting webinar together can be like, it's hell. Let's be honest. It's a lot. There's so many slides. There's a lot of things. It's so many things, right? So webinar on a weekend, you're like, yes, okay, I see the benefit. I get it done. Get it done, right? Okay, so those are benefit driven. So let's look at naming method number 2. This is deadline focused, okay? So this is when we can see that there's a time constraint within the product or the service or whatever it is. So webinar on a weekend that I just mentioned actually has double, right? So it has the benefit and it has the timeline. It's going to be get done in the weekend. So here are some other ones. Live by 5. Okay, so whatever it is that you're putting live, it's going to be done by 5, right? For me, that means website. So you're going to have a website live by 5 o'clock. Fantastic. 4-day work week. We've all heard that one, right? We all know what that one is. Let me know in the comments, actually. Do you know who I'm talking about? Do you know who the 4-day work week is? Tell me. Tell me in the comments. Overnight funnel. So that means I'm not going to take a month to make a funnel. I'm going to get it done overnight. Okay. Deadline driven. Okay. You can see how easy those sort of roll off the tongue. It's very easy to say, to remember, to come back to and go, oh yeah, I would totally remember this, right? Because it's named. Naming method number 3, frameworks. Now, this isn't just the word framework, but this is using anything like framework, method, system, technique, formula. Okay, any of those things are really, really great in names because when we hear that, we immediately go, this is a thing that I can do.
Ba-dum, boom. We're going to do bang, 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 and we're going to get it done.
So here's a couple examples. High ticket selling system, right? Oh, ooh, this is a whole system for me to sell my high ticket stuff. I love it, right? The foot traffic formula, the live launch method, right? So anything when we add system, formula, method, technique, right? It makes it really sound even more of a thing. So naming method number 4, turn of phrase. This is when we kind of we're flipping the script a bit. We're playing on the phrase, okay? We're kind of messing with things. And I'm going to give you 3. And so this one here, for example, is, grand slam, right? We all baseball, grand slam. I'm pretty sure it's from baseball. I actually have no idea, but I think that sounds right. So grand slam, where in this name, it's gram slam. Okay, so, right? So playing with it, but we obviously know this is about Instagram and it's about hitting it out of the park because they're using that sort of idea of grand slam, right? Unmarketing. If you know who unmarketing is, tell me in the comments. Here's another one, spark to finish, right? Instead of start to finish, it's spark to finish. So idea to completion, right? So it's about sort of playing with words in that way and phrases to create something out of that really relates to what you're doing. Naming method number 5, alliteration. Alliteration for me is one of the easiest ones to do. I find it a lot easier to do, and I'll give you a couple and you'll see what I'm talking about. So the Clarity Cure, which is one of my products, the Clarity Cure, CC, right? That's what alliteration is. 5, figure funnels, right? F's. Brand Builders Academy, right? So that's what alliteration is. So when we have that those repetitive first letters, it's really, again, memorable, easy to say, easy to share. Naming method number 6 is poetry. Okay, poetry. So let's talk about poetry. And this obviously is really about rhyming, okay? Because rhyming names are really good. I do love these. I, for some reason, have a really, really hard time doing these, but I think they're fabulous. Live by 5. So live by 5 actually uses 2 of the naming methods. It uses poetry and it uses deadline, right? So done in 1 is another one. Follow the dollar, right? So even though it's not perfect, but we've got some rhyming there. It's poetry. Again, really easy to remember. Naming method number 7, acronym. So this is when we take a word and we use each letter of that word to relate to whatever the thing is. The Finish framework. Okay, so each letter in Finish relates to one of the steps in the framework. Okay, lead funnel. Again, same thing. Doing the funnel there, LEAD, relates to actually building that funnel. The copy technique. The COPY stands for something else. Okay, so that's how we use the acronym method. And finally, number 8, physical. It's not really physical, but it makes you think of a physical location. So for example, B school. It makes you think of going to school, right? It's physical. Email academy. Content creation club. It's a place, it's a club. We're going to go. It's a thing, right? And those are all of the 8 methods that I wanted to share with you today. And now if you want to have all 8 of those naming methods available to you, anytime, then download the free PDF that I have for you in the description below. Just hit that link, sign up, and grab that free download. If you liked this video, I want you to smash that like button. Comment below which of these naming methods you really liked the most as well. I would love to know what your favorite one was. And of course, do not miss a thing. Remember to hit that bell so you are notified every time I post a new video, which happens every single week. And hit that subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon.